due to latest developments, I am questioning whether America will get secession, civil war, or revolution for Christmas of 2020. That's pretty much where we're headed. As I saw, big things have been happening. It's obvious now that the Supreme Court does not want to be involved in any of the controversy surrounding the election. So conservatives are kind of wondering what their next step is. Tim Pool said there are some groups calling for a secession. And myself, I was thinking, well, first of all, we were all quietly waiting to see what happened in the courts, and we felt we had a strong case. Well, like I said, I'm trying to talk in a little bit of code here because you never know how YouTube is, so I'm trying to choose my words carefully. But we were all calmly waiting to see what would happen in the courts after the investigations, and we trusted that justice and truth would prevail. And, well, we didn't really count on everybody being spineless, which is sort of where we are today. We are finding out that everybody's kind of spineless, or they were left-leaning from the beginning, or they were very bribable. So, what does a country do when their legal recourse fizzles? And it's not just on this issue. It is on plenty of other ones. These left-wing activists and left-wing troublemakers, they pretty much have a blank check to commit whatever crimes they want, and the courts will side with them because they are left-wing. So we are in a serious position. I said, so yeah, I counted on, the big B who ran opposite President Trump. I'm trying to be very careful. The big B, I assumed he had one path, and that path to victory would be if everything checked out, all the investigations came out as, in his favor, and then we would have to concede. However, I did not count on the second path that Big B had, the path through the courts. See, now Dr. Turley thought the path through the courts favored our current president. But little did he know that not only did the paths not favor him, but they favored the left. So that the left dismisses any consideration of problems, and they just dismiss it. So technically, all they have to do is dismiss, and eventually they crown their winner, just like the press did. They crown the winner they want, and they're ignoring any kind of evidence to the contrary. So, Big B had two options, two roads to political power, as we have seen. So now the next question is, what are the conservatives, what are the people going to do? And I'm not the only one. We can see that this country has been having issues for a long, long time, and it's just getting more and more evident, because here it seems that, I said basically 50% of the country does not believe the system is fair, and that, that selecting of politicians is fair. And so if we don't trust them now, why would we trust them later? If they succeed now, that would embolden them to continue down the same path. And see, that the left, they are not expecting the conservatives to fight back. They're expecting them to settle down and shut up and take their communist lumps. But I think they're in for a surprise. And rightly so, because there's a lot of people who do not want to put up with them. And I was saying to my mom, I guess the secession would be an option, and she's like, they don't get anything. They don't get to get our military. And I'm like, well, we'll have to see what everybody wants to do. Secession could take many forms. Here's the one thing I was thinking. Maybe the states would reconfigure. Because, here, I'll put up this picture of the conservative counties to blue counties. I'm not 100% sure if this is the 2016 one. It looks very similar to it, but in any case, it's pretty similar now. So look at this massive red all over the country, and you'll say it's low population. So what? It's, conservative territory. And all these little blue puddles, they have a lot of nerve thinking they can tell this whole red country what to do. So probably what might happen is some of the states that have problems with these left-wing groups will break up, and I said states will reconfigure. What the ones in Texas were saying, have the states that want to believe in the Constitution split, and then the states that don't want to. I said, so we'll see. I think there has to be some kind of shakeup. Nobody's going to take this quietly or take this lying down. I mean, whether we keep the Union together is another matter. We'll see. Like I said, and as a little person, I'm sort of an observer. I mean, I can talk about it, blog about it, and podcast about it, but I'm not really I'm not at the top. I said, we're not one of the ones who make the decisions. And I said, even the people who go to all these rallies, they would be the ones on the front lines after the ones who make decisions. But for sure, us people out here in the sticks would provide backup, and we provide our goodwill. And we definitely would get involved if we have the opportunity. I said, we're just far away from everything. So, Civil War, it's a possibility. Tim Pool's been talking about that for a long time. And a revolution, that would be if the big B was instated into the office, and then the people would revolt, so that would go under revolution. Dr. Turley did say there's one last massive hurdle for the left before they get to Inauguration Day in January 20th, and that is January 6th. It's pretty apparent that these leftists will likely certify the results on December 14th. However, Dr. Turley said that on January 6th, the vice president has to confirm the electors, and the vice president is Mike Pence. So, and it said that at that point, if things are still in dispute, he can refuse. And if he refuses, then that bounces it to the Congress or the delegates. And Dr. Turley said there's over 30 conservative and only 20 Democrat, states. And of course, we could have some Republican defectors in that case. But I said, this is not over, and he still says there's tons of lawsuits going on. So we're just going to have to keep an eye out, but just get our backup plans ready and just figuring things out. I mean, this country is long overdue for a reorganization, and we just need to balance. We need a balance of power. We need the power with the people and not with the politicians. That's the whole thing. So hopefully I've spoken carefully enough to keep this video up. I've tried to choose my words carefully because I don't want YouTube to take down my video for discussing the forbidden election. But so far, I haven't seen Dr. Turley or Tim Pool's videos disappearing, so maybe they are all bark and no bite. So, all right, and hopefully we'll get some changes here and hit the reset button and right the wrongs that the left has been doing to America for decades. And whether the Union stays intact or reorganizes, that will depend on the people. All right, let freedom ring.